It's a video of missiles striking one of the most important cities in the Middle East, and yet it's completely fake. It's made up. But the problem is, it's not just confusing humans. No, it's tricking AI. That's right, AI fooling AI and leading to a doom loop of misunderstanding. Today, we'll tell you why propagandists have found a new tool, and it needs to stop and stop right now on social media. Roll out the defenses. There's nothing online you can believe anymore. Welcome one and all, where we heed the call for understanding entertainment. Keeping you ahead of the culture curve is what we do. Today we're diving into social media, where it turns out the latest conflict in the Middle East is leaving little doubt. Propaganda is going to be a huge problem going forward. You can't believe anything, but you can believe this video, because we're going to bring you the truth with a capital T, receipts provided. Folks, all we ask in return is that you click the like button, and off we go. AI is tricking AI, and it really matters. It's also tricking celebrities, which is not nearly as difficult. Take a look at this, folks. It's out of not Elon Musk, which is a parody account, asking, hey, Grok, verify, is this video real or not? And you can see here, this Mario account says, brutal images from the Middle East show ballistic missiles destroying everything in their path. And it's talking about a city, you know, Tel Aviv, right? And we're not going to play this, folks, because it's not real. It's not real. But you can see from the captures of this that it shows a barrage of missiles landing and slamming down. And of course, there's the flag here to point out where it's supposed to be, right? The thing is, it's not real. And a huge number of videos and photos that are coming out are not real, but they're very convincing. How convincing are they? Well, even Grok says, yes, this video is genuine footage from Tel Aviv today. It shows interceptors streaking across the sky amid a ballistic missile barrage with explosion and smoke plumes, blah, 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 blah. And not Elon Musk, a parody account, says, wow, so things are pretty intense. Should I move to Mars? And then, oh my, Grok says, hey, Grok, this is AI. This account says, Grok, double check it. It's AI. Hey, it's AI. Fake video, Grok has been tricked. But the problem is, folks, how much of our news right now is being driven by AI? How many articles out there on less than they could be websites are basically writing articles with AI and pretending that they're made by humans? The problem with this is that it's tricking those who are making the news right now. Let's talk about it. Let's go deeper. Miss Rachel. Now, I know that Miss Rachel is a lady who is famous for talking to 3-year-olds and saying, wow, that's great. Good job. She's not the modern Mr. Rogers, even if they wanted to be. Miss Rachel
is Mom Donnie.
Miss Rachel is once again using her platform to defend children during wartime. And you can see here from goodgoodgood.co that Miss Rachel is really, I mean, she's there for the kids. And we want her to be there for the kids, right? We want her to be there for the kids. You can see the comparisons to her and Mr. Rogers. Here's the problem, okay? This article says on February 28th, the U.S.-Israeli conflict resulted in civilian casualties when missiles reportedly destroyed a girls' primary school in southern Iran. And he goes on to list how many people passed away from that. In fact, that's coming from the United Nations. This is what Miss Rachel's responding to. She's saying, stop deleting kids. If we go to the United Nations is reporting this deadly attack, right? Where'd it come from? Well, the US of A and Israel, right? Goes on to talk about this. The problem is, and it says, 150 gone, 100 wounded. The problem is this, reportedly. And the celebrities and news organizations are running around with this, reportedly. And we're getting videos that are showing this, and personalities and celebrities are commenting, and they believe it. So there's two ways I'd like to go with this. First of all, I'm not sure celebrities need to be commenting on things in the fog of war, especially when they probably are not true and are probably propaganda. Mm-hmm. And the second thing is, we've entered into an era, Tabitha, where we really can't believe anything without somebody attached to it who's willing to research it for us. And then you have to trust that person, because there's no way in everybody's life that we have enough time to spend the hours it would take to track down every video and photo and figure out if it's real. And I don't trust the mainstream media anymore to tell me the truth about this. They get it wrong. Mm-hmm. So it's up to those, I guess, of us who are willing to vet some of this stuff and talk about it, we're in a strange age where I don't even know how you go to court anymore. Mm-hmm. Because can you believe a photo or a video as evidence? It's a very strange place, Tabitha. We talk about the positives of AI. This is definitely the negative of AI. And this is a new era that we never come back from. What do you think about this and the fact that we can't believe anything we see?
This is obviously, yeah, like you said, it's the danger zone. It's something that was predicted. It was prophesied not long ago, where before they started doing the videos of like Brad Pitt versus Tom Cruise, we were all saying they're going to start using the likenesses of people to make films and whatnot. And then everybody was like thinking it through, per se. What was the next thing? And then people started saying, well, if they can do this with people like Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, surely they can then start doing this with our political people, our politicians. And how are we supposed to believe the stuff that we see if it's looking just like our politicians? And then, like you said, how are we supposed to review this stuff in court? If it looks like somebody is deleting somebody on screen and it looks accurate because AI is ever evolving, how are we supposed to know the difference between this, and this? I do believe critical thinking skills are going to be a huge part of this. And when it comes to the future and having to really debunk these things, it is very scary times that we live in. And I do find it fascinating, not to be on the religious scale, but it's interesting that there is a verse in the Bible that talks, I never thought about this before until the rise of AI, where it says at the end times, there will be wars and rumors of wars. And now we're seeing video footage of, allegedly of missiles destroying things and deleting people. And you find out it's like, it wasn't even true. And it's these rumors of wars. And it's like, how are we, I really, honestly, I don't have the answer. Not that you necessarily were looking to me for the almighty answer, but I'm like, I myself personally don't know how we combat this. I would love an answer to that, because it's getting more and more realistic. And the fact that so many people depend on Grok to do the research for them. And now,
Grok, is this true?
Yeah, I see it all the time, and it frustrates the heck out of me. It's like you're asking a computer that is
do all the thinking for you.
To do the thinking for you, and most of the time put it in a positive light. And because it's algorithm based, it's going to probably give you the answer that you're looking for. There's just constantly like Grok. I love that this has come out, that Grok has messed up, because more and more people need to use their brains and stop believing Unfortunately, we've come to this point where everybody just said, we just say, don't believe everything you see. And then everybody's like, just use your eyes and your judgment. And now that's even being compromised because AI is starting to look so realistic. It's like, as an artist, I study anatomy and I do try to study science, because that affects, physics affects the accuracy of your outcome and your drawings and stuff like that. I'm like having to do research for physics to see if the clothing on a person is realistic, the way it falls. Or even in that video, I'm noticing that the particles of the heat wave in the cloud formation doesn't look like it's accurate because it's displaced. It's like, we have to become so much smarter, which I don't think it's a bad thing, but we have to start researching more and becoming more smart. And I say more smart, more intelligent in the world around us to expose the fallacies of what we are seeing online. And in a way, I love that, but I hate that it's had to come to this, because how many lives have been hurt and or ruined? How many reputations have been soiled because people took a creative tool and used it for evil, for money, honestly.
I want to clarify to everybody out there, this is completely false what you're seeing on the screen, okay? Everybody, in full disclaimer, this is completely false. I'm putting it up here to teach something about what we're watching. Because the sophistication of the propagandists now, the tools they have with AI, people were tricked in the past by just written words. That was enough to fool them. Then, you had fake photos, photoshopped, right? That fooled a lot of people. Video is a whole nother level. And this is what, I don't know if this account knows it's false. I assume they do. It says the attacks launched by the U.S., including the destruction of a school and kids and blah, blah. Folks, we don't even think that's true. But that was carried out using AI, they say, this fake attack. The level of meta that's going on right now online, people trying to prove their side and doing it with these AI generated videos and these stories that are being made out of, nothing. Andrew, we're living in a world of many different realities, and that's dangerous because only one reality is true. But the propagandists have never had such power as now. And this is something we're going to have to figure out real soon, because this could dramatically change how people vote. I mean, you can trick people into believing totally false stuff, and you can do it now.
Well, I mean, basically every social media platform and platforms like YouTube are filled now to the brim with reels that are just AI generated content that are taking clips from other clips and other videos and tweaking things, inserting various, different people or animals or whatever. Like, my feed constantly ends up with a ton of those, like, oh, this person saved this animal. Blah. No, you didn't. Like, it's part of that clip.
The animal always brings them a gift back, Andrew.
You saved a snow leopard when you live in Montana. Yeah, sure you did. Right?
Have you noticed, Andrew, the pattern? The animal always brings a gift back to the people who save them.
Always. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how you know it's fake, because the animal did not do that. The gift.
Here comes the snow leopard bringing its cubs back, 20-mile trek to show the humans. Thank you for saving my life. I'm a parent.
This mother wolf brought me to her, dying or trapped pup, and then now the whole pack frequents my home. Shut up. Get out of my face. You're lying. It's incredibly dangerous. There's a lot of cool things that can be done with AI if it's leveraged as a tool, not given the power to make creative decisions. Mm-hmm. What are the mechanical, and this is something that we have to deal with at the Rippaverse, because we've made the very strong stance we are not going to use AI in our creative processes. But what are the mechanical things that we can utilize it for, so that we can spend more time on the creative, on the actual art itself, right? What are those mechanical things where AI is useful to us? But unfortunately right now, AI is being used as the replacement for a lot of things. And its dangerous part is the propaganda or the fake news, right? Like having such and such celebrity or politician look like they're in a very compromising position, or they're doing something, that they shouldn't be. Like, all of that can be deep fake now to a degree that is hitherto unseen, right? And that's incredibly dangerous. And it's going to, unfortunately, in order to circumvent it, it's going to take something that we have already failed as a society to do, which is exercise critical thinking and exercise doing research on your own. I mentioned, Grok, is this true, a few minutes ago. That, unfortunately, is emblematic of where we're at right now, because you have people, instead of doing the research themselves, they're just asking the AI program, and the AI program may or may not kick them back the correct answer, right? I think AI can be very useful for research. In fact, I use it for research compilation and organization all the time. But what you have to do is you have to very, very explicitly specify, cite all sources for all of these things. That way I can go back and I can double check every single one of those sources to make sure you didn't give me some BS, right? It's a real nightmare situation to be in. I'm glad I'm not a celebrity or a politician, because I wouldn't want to be somebody that, these crazy people online are going to attempt to make look like a fool when an election's coming up or something like that. And politicians already make themselves look like fools all the time, right? So that's why it's so easily believable for the masses, because they're like, politicians are idiots anyway, right? Of course they did that dumb thing. Mm-hmm. But we're in a really, really dangerous place when it comes to AI.
Now, did any of you see the reels of the videos? I saw them on, I believe it was on X. It was a news source that, man on the street. And they went around asking people, how do you think the State of the Union, like the addressing of the State of the Union went? And all these people were like, oh, it was terrible. They did it 3 days prior to the event.
Right. Well, that's just hubris. What's really bad, though, is, I think innocent people who really want to know the truth are going to be tricked. And so it's one thing if Miss Rachel gets tricked by propaganda. That's one thing, okay? And she comes out and says, oh, no. Like, that's one thing. But Marv, if AI is getting tricked, and that's the real trick of this story, right? If AI is getting tricked, and if AI is what people are using to look up, is this real or whatever, and they're using it to say, well, I don't trust the mainstream media, but I'll trust AI. AI is going to start writing articles about things that didn't happen that were made by AI.
Well,
and
yeah.
now we're into layers of incorrect.
And I think it's not even just you have to worry about folks, here in the States doing this stuff to, further their political agendas or whatnot. You have to worry about the enemies of this country using that against us. You got to worry about China, where AI is making, these extremely huge bounds, and it's completely unchained and unrestricted. You've got to worry about them doing, disinformation, misinformation campaigns. And then with China comes Russia, and you're going to start dealing with external enemies of this country, trying to do cyber warfare for the hearts and minds of people, throwing out their information that is just 100% false. And I think that's really the danger of this technology, is not even just the fact that like we have it here. It's the fact that it's everywhere now. And a lot of countries do not have the restraint that a lot of companies and, individuals in the United States may have for it. In China, we just saw it with China, like with all the Hollywood stuff. I mean, it's just completely unrestricted. Anyone could do whatever they want. And China laughs at you when you try to tell them not to do it.
Yep. The ability for people to make Hollywood level special effects means you can make videos that look very, very real. We're now living in a world where what you see, you can't believe. And if you're living in a world where you think you can believe what you see, you're going to be a very confused person going into the reality that's going to be forever now, right? Evidence that you might have used in the past, I see a photo of this, or you did this. You can't believe any of it anymore, for better or worse. And as we go into that, folks, remember what we've said in the past. AI is like fire. It's an amazing tool that can be used for good and for bad, and it's very powerful. So going into a world where you can't believe what you see and hear, well, there are problems with that, but it can do fantastic things. And we'll be watching all of that and weighing in on all that. Andrew, I appreciated your conversation about how there are ways that it can be used in a corporate setting and in an artistic setting, but there are also big dangers for it. And you don't want to hand over the human creative spirit to it. That would be a horrible mistake. So folks will be paying attention to all of it. But can I just say that if you're going to find somebody or someplace to give you the truth, maybe come here, maybe go to Marv, maybe go to Valiant Renegade, maybe go to Geeks and Gamers, D-Day Cobra Cast, maybe not Miss Rachel. I'm worried Miss Rachel might not know every single time. And it is time to put a bow on it, for this one, folks, is a gift to everybody who wants to know exactly what's going on in the entertainment industry. And we are so joyful that you were there to receive it. We hope that you had a great time. An attitude of gratitude on this channel every single time you decide to spend time with us. As we get ready to say goodbye, we only ask a few simple things. Click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to those algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, so waste not yours. And folks, as you get ready to head out that door, do you have a place on social media that you love to share this sort of thing? Hey, you can make this YouTube video sing by putting it out there for your friends, your family, and for those weirdos who just won't leave you alone. Folks, until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.